Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and everybody's wondering who's next after the FBI raid on John Bolton's house. Well, you don't have to wonder anymore because the next person on the list has revealed himself. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. A lot of people were stunned on Friday, including myself, that former National Security Advisor John Bolton's house was raided. Now, what I've discovered in the time since then, talking to various sources, is that this raid was not about what people think it was about. And what it actually is about is going to shock the conscience of a lot of people. A lot of Democrats, a lot of media figures ran to defend Bolton. They never learn. They never learn to wait for the facts. And next week, I believe, when these charges are actually revealed, when the allegations against him are actually revealed, a lot of people are going to feel very stupid because from what I'm understanding from my sources, the evidence is strong and the crimes are serious. That being said, who's next? Well, there was a guy who rose to kind of fame in the Trump orbit. He worked for President Donald Trump and he penned letters to the New York Times deriding Trump. He penned these letters as anonymous, but this guy was such a low-level staffer that only the New York Times would think this guy was credible enough to be anonymous. And he wrote a book, he made some money, but now, because, he dealt with classified information, he believes he's next. Now, I don't know if he's big enough on the totem pole to be next, but it wouldn't surprise me or him either. I want you to hear him whining about it on MSNBC, and then let me know what you think in the comments.
And Miles, when I heard the news of the raid on Bolton's home, I gasped, not only because of what it means for our democracy, but also what it means for other people in the president's crosshairs. As Eugene mentioned, you are one of those people who's in the president's crosshairs. Just talk personally, when you heard the news, what did you think, and how concerned are you that you could be next? Your home could be next.
We expect it. I mean, really, we expect it. And that's what is so surreal about this is we can all here as we're talking about this be so certain of the president's revenge campaign to know potentially who that next target might be or one of those next targets. I mean, when my wife and I woke up and saw the news, she basically said to me, it's coming. But we have thought for years that Donald Trump, if he came back to power, would do something like this. And look, folks don't have to play the violin for John Bolton or Miles Taylor. Maybe they don't like either of us. That's fine, because it's not about us. It's about the criminal justice system that all Americans expect to be able to treat them fairly. It's about a president of the United States weaponizing the tools of his office to reshape our society. And he's doing that. He's making sure the scales of justice tip in his favor, the scales of commerce tip in his favor. Any scale that an American might encounter in the course of their daily lives is slowly being used to benefit the president's agenda or to punish his enemies. This is really scary stuff. And to me, the Bolton raid was actually one of the biggest moments of this presidency because it showed that all the years of talking about how Trump would use the FBI as his foot soldiers to go after his enemies wasn't bluster, wasn't hyperbole. It is now very, very real, and there's no telling where this could go next.